Hey, YouTube family and friends. This is from Eugene from Kenya's channel. I do not own the rights, so be sure to follow him. But I thought this was interesting. I'm going to let you guys listen to it, and then I'm going to give you my feedback.
Offer you. Until then, let's dive into the video and say something about it.
I think you build the foundation of your speech on working against identity politics. Yet, I think so conveniently, and it was kind of ignorant, that all of your examples of oppression or people going through struggle were all from the black community. So if you could so conveniently use
I know this is off topic, but that guy is fine. Okay. This is supposed to be serious, so let me start.
one specific ethnicity to kind of propagate your ideals, is that not identity politics in itself?
You allege I only spoke about what black people face in this society and that that's a form of identity politics. In fact, it is not. First of all, I spoke about the Bangladeshi women in the sweatshops.
Sorry, my
selling our
camera's
clothes.
moving, but my
I
cat
talked about
keep
women
messing
who've
with
been forced
me.
to have children against their will in that form of enslavement. I spoke about trans people who have faced over 500 laws this year introduced or passed. Not to mention the terror that's enforced against them. I spoke about what happens on this planet as a whole as it is heating due to the
Be sure to follow Eugene from Kenya's channel on YouTube. My channel is not monetized, but there's a lot of really good content creators that make a living and they really get out some important information. So this is my first time seeing him. So be sure to follow him.
destruction of climate change driven forward by the system of capitalism and imperialism. So if you missed all that, I'm not surprised if you also missed some of the scientific undergirdings of it. But to be fair, I will walk through it again. I speak about black people in a very pronounced way when we come to revolution because the exploitation, the enslavement, the dehumanization and the degradation that's been inflicted on black people is foundational to this society and this system. And that is scientifically a fact. It's evidence-based. The wealth of this country, the territorial reach of this country, the military strength of this country got its roots in American slavery, the chattel slavery of black people. And then on that foundation, the ideology of white supremacy, of black inferiority, was propagated. It was made a bedrock of one of the glues of this society, and it has been woven into this society ever since. The forms of oppression have changed. It took a civil war to end slavery, but then what happened? After not even 10 years of Reconstruction, where black people were brought into some rights within this country, that was betrayed. The troops were pulled out, and black people were re-enslaved in new conditions, slavery by another name, sharecropping for generations. Serf-like conditions enforced through terror, lynch mob terror and violence. And the troops were pulled out to go and finish off the extermination of the native peoples. Okay? Then, another generation comes up in the face of changes in the U.S. economy and the need to pull black people out of the South and into the factories. Black people stood up and they waged struggle in the civil rights movement. They gave their lives, they stood up.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. What happens in Eugene from Kenya's video is he has, what do you call it, stitches from people that most of them really, really agree with her and agree with what she's saying. I'm coming from a whole different perspective because I see things and I have always seen things in a different light. So I'm going to fast forward a little. Okay, and here we go.
Like in science, it's not. So I understand.
Okay. Let me help. Oh, go ahead. Maybe you should get the mic.
I understand that your point is I want to be building arguments based on reason and rationale.
Here, take the mic just so it gets.
I understand that your point is I want to be building arguments on reason and rationale, but that doesn't mean that it's scientific, and that doesn't mean that it's false or wrong.
Okay.
I'm saying that the validity of your argument doesn't increase by throwing the word science out.
Well, so I would argue that science actually can be applied to all of reality, not just narrowly in engineering or in the natural sciences. No, this is important. What you're raising is widely felt, it's widely believed, it's widely taught, I'm sure, on this campus.
Let's forward her a little.
And have to reflect and more or less correspond to that. And so when we live in a society where the exploitation and oppression of Black people has been woven into that mode of production all the way down to today, it leads to the culture and the society and the kind of police terror that we have today. That's applying science to a social contradiction.
Now, what I am about to say is from a completely different perspective. Now, her speech is in support of Black people and sort of like a Black Lives Matter feeling type of atmospheric speech. Now, the guy that got up that I said was cute, he got up and was telling her that you didn't use really any other minority, or you use as Black people. Now, one of the things that white people know is that no matter where you come from, whether you're Asian or Latino or whatever the case it may be, wherever you come from, as long as you inherit the feeling and the privilege of white supremacy, and as long as you protect and push white supremacy, you are more valuable to them than Black people because you're helping them in a way. Now, Black people are valuable to them because they culturally appropriate a lot of the things that we create and a lot of the things that we invent. And a lot of them make a living off our athletes and our singers and the people in our community that are grounded in excellence in different categories of entertainment, the medical field, sports, and all of that. Now, what I'm going to say is, whenever a white person fights this hard for Black people, I get suspicious. I'm sorry, but that's just how I am, because I feel you're not Black. That's number one. And number two, if you really, really cared about Black people and you are an advocate of Black people, wouldn't you have a Black person with you as a speaker? Because they could speak from firsthand experience. So what I feel is that she's the one getting all these money from engagements. She's the one making a living off of Black people. Yet, now I don't know if she donate to Black causes. I don't know all that. I'm just going by what I see. At least, if you're going to get up there and fight so hard for Black people and the Black experience and slavery and how bad things are for Black people in this country, then shouldn't you have a Black person up there with you that can co-sign? Why are you by yourself? I think you're by yourself because you want all the credit, you want all the glory, you want all the money, you want everything that comes with sticking up for Black people, except for having a Black person up there with you that you could pay and share your wealth. But remember, we still haven't gotten reparations, and share your wealth, and then maybe, and just maybe, you'll have a lot more credibility with me. All the other stitches, I'm not going to play them because there's a lot of them and they're very long. They're very much on your side, and all of them are Black. I'm on your side to a certain extent. extent. I'm on your side to a certain extent, because even Jane Elliott, who has been very vocal about the plight of Black people, says Black people don't need reparations and says the N-word. Okay? And she's somebody that fought hard for the Black community. So I just don't trust you when you're up there by yourself caping for Black people without a Black person in the room. And white people always do that. They come up with all these things and all these ideas and what Black people gonna like, making sneakers and all this and talking about Black experience and not a Black person in sight. That has no effect on me. I just don't take that kind of thing seriously. And also, she mentioned revolution and the civil rights a lot. And we're not fighting no more. Well, I don't know about all Black people, that as far as I am, I ain't fighting for nobody no more. I did all my fighting. I did it all. So y'all could storm January 6th and act all crazy all you want. I'm going to be home in my house. Okay? Because you white people are losing your minds. And if you think about it, who should people be scared of? Think about who the mass shooters are. Think about how many, allegations people in high places have against them in courts of law. Think about what color they are. And then come talk to me. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day, evening, afternoon, whenever you watch this video. And be sure to take care of yourselves and be very careful out there. Okay, it's crazy times we're living in. Okay, bye-bye, guys and girls and those in between.